Hello again, and welcome to Play the Trombone with Mr. Cole. We're on to episode 6 now, and you will need pages 20, 21 and 22 in your book, which looks like this: Team Brass, or as they say in the North, Team Brass. So, we're going to start off on page 20. We were on page 20 before, so you may feel as if you're not progressing quite as fast as in other episodes, but I can assure you you are, because this is quite difficult. We're going to play the bottom tune, When I First Came to This Land. And if you look at When I First Came to This Land, you'll notice that there are two lines of music. Two lines, one above the other. And this is for two players. A duet is for two players. We don't need to play the second line because there's only one player. So we only concern ourselves with the top line of the two. And if you look at it, you'll notice that it goes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. The seventh note is a hollow one, so it's twice as long. Then the next phrase, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. And the thing to remember is the positions. If you do remember me telling you that you need to, it's like being asked a series of questions. What position is the first note? First position. What position is the second note? Fourth position. What position is the third note? First position again, but higher, and so on. And this piece does contain all the notes that you've learned so far. Incidentally, you may realise that we have skipped the warm-up. I think possibly you can remember how to do that yourselves now, and we need the extra time for this episode. So I'm going to go straight into When I First Came to This Land. Stop there because I'm going to ask you a question. What's the last note? The last note. It's a long time since we did that. The last note in that top line is second position, and it's just below B flat. Just underneath B flat. So the last bar of the top line goes third, sixth, first, second, and then you skip down to what looks like the third line. Now, if you look at the third line, and I'll just remind you where it is on here, there. If you look at the third line, you have now got a little section with double bars and dots. Now that in music is a repeated section. It's the dots that give it away. The dots remind you that you repeat that section. So the first thing we have to do is those two quick quavers. Do you remember the ones that are joined together? They're holding hands. Quavers, quick notes. So it's quick, quick, slow, 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 rest. Slow, quick, quick, 1, 2. Then you repeat. Slow, 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 rest. Slow, quick, quick, 1, 2. So I'm going to go from there. And then you simply carry on to the end. Good. Now, I suggest you pause the video at this point and you go through that again, because it's possibly the most difficult thing we've done so far. It contains all the notes you've learned: B flat, C, D, E flat, F, and the new note G, plus that low note B. If if you're not going to pause, or if you've already paused and you've joined again, I'm going to move on to page 21. Now this is a very popular song in the 60s, which of course you won't remember. In fact, I don't think I can remember that far back. But it's called Blowing in the Wind, and it's written and sung by a guy called Bob Dylan. And I'm going to play it to you. You might like to ask your folks at home if they remember it. It's basically the notes you know already, and also it's a combination of the 1-2 notes, the hollow ones with a stick, and the filled in ones with a stick, which are the 1 beats. So looking at the beginning, it's 1 2 1 1 1 2 1 1 1 2 1 1, and then there's a hollow note with a dot after it, which, if I can remind you, means it's 3 beats. 1 3 beats. So if all you have to do really when you're looking at new music is decide whether it's a B flat or a C or a D or an E flat or an F, and then once you've decided which note it is, you then decide how long it lasts. If you can do that, then it's simply like a dot to dot drawing where you join 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and you end up with a picture of something that you weren't sure what it was going to be until you join the dots up, if all that makes sense. And I'm not sure that it does. Here we go, Blowing in the Wind. And you'll notice I've got to the 2 dots, which you'll remember from the last episode mean repeat. So I now repeat back to the beginning, but there's a difference. This is now going to be the second time I'm playing it, not the first time. And so I do not play the notes with the bracket with the 1. I instead play the notes with the bracket with the 2. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm going to omit the notes with the bracket with the 1, and I'm going to go straight to the bracket with the 2. If you played that, well done. That's a real achievement, because that's a well-known tune. People will say, oh, I know that tune, if you play it correctly. There's also an accompaniment if you've got a keyboard at home with one of those rhythm accompaniments that you can use, and it's got the chords there that you need to press. There's 1 or 2 examples of very long notes here that I can see a 4 joined together with a 2, so you have to hold that on for a long time. But that page, it's worth spending a bit of time on to get it right. Don't play the top part. The top part is the trombone part if you've got the trumpets playing the tune. The tune is where it says duet, Blowing in the Wind. Again, we don't play the second line of the duet, we only play the top line of each bracketed pair of lines. Good, so we're getting there, and we're going to turn over briefly to page 22. I did mention the joined up notes where they hold hands and they're quicker, and they also begin with Q-U quavers. Quavers, they come in little packets like crisps, but these quavers are musical quavers, and they are quick. So you will have heard me say slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. And in this case, the quavers are quick, quick. Usually come in twos. So I'm going to play where it says the first line of music here. Just play that line across there. I'm not going to do the second line because we need to go on to Here We Go, and we're beginning to run out of time. And so on. And I'll leave you to play the second line. Now I'm going to finish by looking at Here We Go. Here we go. And if you look at it, it's got words. Here we go, running in the snow. And if you say that line, here we go, running in the snow, you've got the quavers played for you, running in the. Quick, 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 quick. So slow, slow, 1, 2. Quick, 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 1, 2. So, this is Here We Go. There we go. And that brings to an end episode 6. Remember the practice, vital that you practice. You might like to go through Here We Go a couple of times. It's got some high notes in it that you will have remembered from episode 4, even G, 4th position. But basically it's to do with quavers. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye now, and I'll leave you to work hard until I see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.